sustainability is a goal.
Hi there, I'm Caroline Pappy and I'm the Head of Marketing at Pharma Connect. This week we're celebrating Earth Day, which seemed like a really good moment to press the pause button and think about sustainability and traceability. These two words often get mentioned in the same sentence as if they're a proxy for each other, but they're not. They're very different things. And so we thought we'd come together with some of the team at Pharma Connect to try and explore that idea a bit and understand a bit more what we mean by these two terms. I'm going to be talking today with DJ Bowden, who's our Chief Operating Officer. DJ, you've spent quite a few years working in the world of coffee trading. And also with Christian Klaus, who's just joined us. Hi, Christian.
Thank you.
Christian's our Chief Revenue Officer, and he's got over 10 years' experience working in traceability at IBM and Sun Microsystems. Correct. So you really know your stuff on traceability. So sustainability, what do we mean when we talk about it in the world of agricultural supply chains? What kind of things are we looking at? DJ, do you want to...
Yeah, sure. I think that's generally a great question, and it's one of those things that can get enormously complicated. But the way we like to think about it is essentially on 4 dimensions: environmental, social, governance, and profitability. By the environment, we mean, are we good stewards of the planet? Social, we mean, do we treat other people, whether they're inside our organization or outside our organization, well? And governance, do we have the structures in place to properly evaluate and monitor how we behave? The last one is profitability, and I know that can sound a little corporate, but what we really mean is what we're doing paying for itself, and can it continue in the long term because it's funded, or is it just going to dry up after a short period of time?
Yes, so is it viable over time?
Yeah, perfect. Exactly.
Okay, so those are the areas we're thinking about for sustainability. Traceability. What do you mean when you think about traceability?
So I think in general, traceability is really about, it's a technique that we apply that lets us keep track of where products move in the supply chain so that we can prove our points. We can prove the points about the origin of a product. We can prove the points about the mixing of the product with other products as it moves through the supply chain. So it really enables us to sort of lock down points of presence of the product as it moves through the supply chain. So we can prove that it's organic, or we can prove that it doesn't involve bad practices for the environment, for the society, for profitability, etc. So it's really a technique of following the products as it moves through the supply chain, so we can prove the points that we've been talking about.
Okay, and how is technology changing the way we do that versus maybe what we were doing in the past?
Well, I think there's several aspects to this, but gathering information has become much easier with sensors, with miniaturization, with data aggregation. We can connect more things quickly. But I think an important part of this is the blockchain. And the blockchain is, again, yet another technology. But the really interesting thing about it is that it lets us digitally sign a transaction in a way that we can't go back later and undo it. We can't go back and erase it. So when we put an organic stamp on a product, we can actually prove that miles away, or many miles away, or many months away. We can prove these things that we've done because they're signed transactions. And that used to be very complicated, and now it's very simple.
That's really... And does that encapsulate why this is important? Are there other areas, DJ, that's important about traceability in the world of sustainability?
Well, I think it's really important to realize that traceability is usually not a means or an end in of itself. You're usually trying to prove a point, and you're usually trying to connect several activities together, whether that's something that's happening in an origin country, something that's happening in a farm, all the way to something that's happening to a consumer. And by giving ourselves that kind of wider context, we actually enrich the experience of whatever it is that we're touching, consuming, playing with, or experiencing.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So you talked here a bit about consumers. So what is it that you think consumers are looking for? What is it that the consumers get out of traceability and bringing more sustainable products?
Yeah, I think technology has two potentials. One, it has the ability to take any one of us and give us a much wider view of things, but it can also be customized in a lot of ways that a simple paper report or a newspaper can't. Each one of us is going to care about very different things, and I think when we get down to it is, what do you want to experience about your product? Do you want to know where it came from? Do you want to know about the people who produced it? Do you want to understand culture? Do you want to understand the environment around it, biodiversity, whether something was grown under the right conditions, how that's helped or harmed the environment around them? Does it affect the water supply? Are the children going to school? I think in the end, as we each approach our own version of what we want to see in the world, having that traceability and having that connection to the product and being able to grab it, at least in a digital sense, can be extremely empowering. And it can help each of us make decisions on how we want to live and how we want the brands that we buy from to represent us.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because as a marketer, working with our customers, we're hearing again and again that the brands are looking for more distinctive ways of going to market, and they see sustainability as a great opportunity here. But it's really making sure that we're seeing some great work with people really engaging and not wanting to just do surface stuff or communication stuff. Things like the UCC orangutan project, where they're really doing meaningful work on the orangutan populations. What other areas have we seen where
So-
customers are making a real difference?
Yeah, so let me just link that. I think that what the consumer wants when they get that is they want to make sure that that's not just a label or a smoke screen.
Yeah.
What they want to know is that they can really trust that it actually is a solid claim. And I think that's why we get excited about linking these two items, right? Sustainability is a goal. And the way we build trust around our achieving of that goal is with traceability. And that's how these two things are linked. They're not the same thing,
Yeah.
but they're inextricably linked. You can't prove that you're being sustainable if you don't have a trace of where the product came from, what conditions it came from, etc.
And Chris, if I can just add on that, I think what really ties us all together on sustainability is that we all know it's important. And it's something that we at Pharma Connect and our clients and the consumers are putting a lot of thought into. We care about it, we're worried about it, it matters. And I think that as we engage on this journey, it's really important to have people on your side who are thinking about this constantly.
On that thought, I think we're going to wrap up. Thank you very much, DJ. Thank you, Chris. It's got me thinking. I think the next topic we'll maybe talk about is partnerships and how we're actually working with our customers and our clients on building this out more. So thank you very much for joining us and helping us celebrate Earth Day. And we'll see you again soon for another connected conversation.